Good morning and welcome back to another day of quarantine. There's a lot of new developments happening in the news. I'm sure a lot of you are well ahead of it compared to me due to the lag, of course. I know I'm a day ahead of everybody over here in China, well, most people anyway. But there is a little bit of a lag when it comes to news from the outside world. But yeah, it's a little bit hazy, but that's kind of how it is. There's a lot of factories around here. If you can hear it, I'm watching the only English language channel that we have, China Global Television Network. It's, yeah. I know it's sort of propaganda, but all news companies are. I guess if you watch the news in the United States, there's always some central person that's spinning the news stories to whatever narrative they want to have. It's no different with the Chinese news. The only difference, I guess, is that it's coming from a government and they have a monopoly on what there is. There's only one news outlet, so in either case, watching the news, seeing what's going on in the rest of the world, I see people are still not quite taking it as serious as they should. When they say to wear masks and they say to stay inside and social distance, definitely listen to what they're saying. This is some serious stuff. That actually reminds me, here in China, I mentioned it in the last video, there's some fear of a second wave. I'm really starting to worry about it because people here are letting their guard down. I'm starting to see people without masks. Everybody's out just like life is normal. And I'm afraid that there's going to be a second wave, and it's going to be worse than the original outbreak because people are starting to think, oh, this is a problem elsewhere. Just like how people saw it with China, they saw this as a China problem, and nobody was really worried about the virus coming to where they were. Maybe a little bit, but now, people in China are kind of doing the same thing. It seems like the problem has moved on and it's elsewhere. I'm just afraid it's going to come back here with a vengeance. Yeah, I had to change the channel. I've heard so many times about Donald Trump's comment about this being the China virus. I'm so sick of hearing about that China virus business. I don't even care. I don't think it was meant as a racist thing or anything like that, but wow, the Chinese news, they won't let it go. It's all over the place, every day. To me, that's old news now, but not constantly, just the China virus, Donald Trump, and it's not, it's not specific to any race or religion, even, and who invoked anything about religion and race? I don't know. But yeah, however you feel about it, believe me, I'm tired of hearing about the China virus. Now, I do have some China-specific news. In an effort to protect the capital from another outbreak of COVID-19, they're actually redirecting all flights that have their destination in Beijing, so they won't be flying into the capital. Also, on another bit of news, apparently Wuhan has opened up somewhat, so if you wanted to, you could go to Wuhan. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would want to go there. Maybe some crazy people like me. I don't want to go there. I'm not going there, believe me. My traveling is done for the next bit. I've had enough of that. But anyway, if you do visit Wuhan, you're also not allowed to enter into the capital. So they're saying it's safe and they're opening it up, but apparently, I don't know, we're getting mixed signals here. It's safe, but if you go there, don't come here, that sort of thing. Yeah, it really is going to be the same old around here. The same old kind of news coming out of everywhere. More and more disaster. Yeah, I'm hearing more and more about in Italy from friends and people that we know there, that in just a few days they're going to surpass China. It's my understanding that the death numbers have already surpassed China, which is very alarming. I mean, I don't know what to think about that. To me, that means that not all of the deaths in China that were actually caused by the coronavirus were necessarily recorded as having been from the coronavirus. But I think we've suspected that all along. Everybody everywhere. So, I don't know. Maybe things are a lot worse than what we thought. Of course, they're a lot worse than what we thought. That's becoming quite apparent as the virus spreads overseas. That this is much worse than what we've been led to believe. So I hope, again, that everybody's been paying attention, they've seen what's happened. Just keep in mind that when it does come to your town or whatever, it happens fast. Everything changes very, very fast. One day, everything's fine, you're there to celebrate the holiday. The next thing you know, you're stuck, and there's roadblocks. In this case, in the United States, the military is rolling into town, taking over public venues, turning them into emergency hospitals. This is unprecedented. That's all I can say. I still, even to this day, I still see people talking about this being a hoax. They say, I don't know anybody that's been affected by the coronavirus. Believe me, this isn't a game. It's not a joke. This is no hoax. This isn't some kind of conspiracy. This is really happening. And it is very important that you prepare for it, because you don't want to have to go outside when this is going on. You don't want to have to go to the supermarket to buy food, because then you're exposing yourself to it. And from everything that I'm seeing and everything that I've been through, I can tell you, you don't want to do that. You do not want to get sick with this virus. So listen to the warnings that are finally coming out from the government. Just avoid public interactions and get yourself ready for this. Any comments as you're cutting those vegetables?
Not really. Just make sure to stay inside.
Well, you heard it, folks. Make sure to stay inside. My wife has kicked me out of the kitchen. Something about how the food that I cook has no flavor. So, she's going to be cooking breakfast/lunch.
These are tremendous people. They're fully on alert. We've signed what we had to sign, and it's Governor Cuomo's been asking for it. I agree, and we had it.
We're just following the news here as best we can via YouTube. What's happening in the rest of the world? It's kind of shocking to hear the National Guard being sent out to several states. The governors there basically have an army at their command to deal with the crisis. This is really like something out of a movie. I mean, I know it all happened here to us in China, but it's still shocking to hear about this happening in the United States. It's unreal. Like I said, this is just something you see in movies. It's not something you're supposed to see in real life. Now back to watching television. Just heard an interesting news report from CCTV. Apparently some thugs dressed up as epidemic control officers went to someone's house, knocked on the door, used their disguise to get in for the purpose of robbing them, and in the process beat them to death. Be careful. You know, this could happen anywhere. This is very rare in China for any sort of violent crime, just so you know. But this could happen anywhere in the world, so be careful if someone shows up at your house, if they're dressed in a uniform or claiming to be some kind of epidemic control officer or something. Make sure they show you credentials, make sure you confirm what they are, don't just let them into your house. Just be careful. People will take advantage of any situation to try to do something dishonest, so just be careful. Back to looking out the window. Hearing more reports about new laws being passed in the midst of all this coronavirus business. Not specifically regarding the coronavirus, but more having to do with celebrities. I guess maybe some of you have heard of Fan Bingbing. She's been in a couple of American movies. She made a whole lot of money, and I guess a little while ago got convicted of tax evasion here in China, and she had to pay back a bunch of money. I don't know how she has any money left, but yeah, they just recently, well, I guess we just now heard about it in the news. They passed some new laws basically saying that celebrities can only make so much money per episode. They can only make so much money from app sales. And also, they've passed some new laws regarding foreign citizenship. Whoops, I almost knocked something down. Foreign citizenship, foreign passport holders, including those that hold, passports from Macau and Hong Kong, which I thought those were part of China, but I guess it limits what they're able to do as far as movie making here in China. There's also some very vague laws, which to me they sound like, if you do something that crosses someone in the party, then they have this vague law they can go to and just destroy your life. Something as a little person I'll probably never have to deal with, but for those movie stars, I guess it could be pretty bad. Just don't cross the people in power. I think that's about the same in every country. Don't cross the people in power. I'm just kidding, of course. Always speak truth to power. Doesn't matter where you are. Don't let people get away with things that are corrupt or wrong. That's supposed to be the job of the media. I don't know. But it should be for all of us. Speak truth to power. Well, that's probably about all I've got for this video, so I'm